Okay. I think this is Accordion Cool because I'm sitting here with this foolish instrument hanging around my neck, but there's no sign here to tell me. Why is there no sign, Coach Dave? Well, because some idiot, when he went on a gig over this weekend in another car, signs are still there. Forgot to take them out of the car and put them in my van. So I'm assuming this is Accordion Cool because I'm sitting here and Austin's behind the glass trying to figure out what I'm doing. So that tells me it's definitely Accordion Cool. So this is Coach Dave. Now, when we do these shows, we normally tape on a Wednesday. And by Thursday, Friday, I'm starting to think of next week's show, a theme, or what I'm going to do. Well, something happened this week. I had a busy 4 days or so in a row, and all of a sudden on Sunday, I said, wait a minute, Wednesday's 3 days away, and I haven't even thought about next week's show. So, oh boy, what are we going to do? Well, that first tune might have given you a clue called Anything Goes, because today, anything goes, anything goes. What I'm going to do is just play a bunch of tunes that I normally do on my live gigs. Some of the tunes I do, you may recognize them, but I figured that was the easy way out rather than try to put together a whole nother theme. So today's theme is Anything Goes. So that was Anything Goes from 1934, written by a fellow named Cole Porter. Came from a show called, Anything Goes. All right, we're moving on to our next tune. This 1959. This came from a movie called Black Orpheus. And I had never heard this song till a fellow accordion player a couple of years ago. He turned me, and I love this song. And of course, it's part of that whole late 50s, early 60s, Latin invasion we had. So this is called Samba de Orfeo. So let's see what it sounds like. Samba de Orfeo. No idea what de Orfeo or Black Orpheus, which is the movie. And of course there is the song Black Orpheus, which I have done. I haven't done it recently, but said the translation to that is a day in the life of a fool. Oh, wait a minute, that's every day. Never mind. So maybe someday we'll do that tune again. All right, we're going to move on. We're going to back up a few years to 1939. And this song, as so many others that we play, came from a musical. I don't recall the name of the musical. Obviously, it was not, shall we say, one of the biggies. And first person I heard play this song was fellow whose name I've mentioned 1,000 times in the show, Mr. Art Van Dam, who started this whole accordion jazz thing. And this is probably one of my most favorite tunes. Now, a lot of things Art did up tempo. Excuse me. And but I've also heard this tune done as a pretty ballad. So what do we do? Well, maybe we'll combine them a little bit and see what happens. Tune called All the Things You Are. Here we go. All the Things You Are, All the Things You Are. Great tune. Love that tune. Like I said, I probably play that on every single one of my live gigs, and most people haven't heard it, so they just look at me and say, "Oh yeah, okay, yeah, fine, yeah, blah blah blah." Oh well, never mind. All right, we got to move on to our next tune. Now, this tune was written in 1953 by a great jazz piano player named Errol Garner. Now, I believe originally it was just written as an instrumental because he didn't sing. Probably nobody in his group sang. But somewhere around 1958, a young lad named Johnny Mathis sang this tune and became pretty much the greatest hit that he ever had. Now, Errol Garner was actually from Pittsburgh, Pennsylvania. Now, when you think of Pittsburgh, you think of steel mills and all that stuff. But actually, from some of the research I've done, there there are a lot of the great jazz musicians that came out of Pittsburgh. I guess they figure they better practice their instruments, because working in the steel mills probably isn't the thing that they really want to do. So you've heard me play this tune several times. Great tune, one of the prettiest songs ever written. It's called Misty. Misty, one of the prettiest songs ever written, in my estimation, for whatever that's worth. Get my tongue tied there. Well, quite a few years earlier, 1924, there was a play. There were many plays. The play was called No No Nanette, and the song from that play was called Tea for Two. Now, this has become a standard through all the years. 1958, the Tommy Dorsey Band, one of the big bands, played it as a cha-cha. Now, for all of you who are not over the age of 60, you've never heard this song played as anything but a cha-cha. Well, today I'm going to play it in its original form, little Tea for Two. T for two. Can't you just see Fred Astaire and Ginger Rogers tap dancing across? Fred Astaire and Ginger Rogers. You never heard of? Well, for those of you over 60, you probably heard of Fred Astaire and Ginger Rogers. They were a great dance team, and they were in many movies and TV and everything. Way back in the old days. Well, we're going back even further in the old days. For one last tune today, we're getting down near the end. This tune was written in 1926. When I was doing the whole wedding thing and all that stuff, I never wanted to play this song again because it had become a sing-along song. And every wedding and every affair like that had to play this song along with a bunch of others, while all the people out there sitting there who thought they could sing, and oh, it was a nightmare. However, then the jazz guys got a hold of this, especially the aforementioned Art Van Dam. Now, this song comes with a disclaimer. It's going to be a little rapid, so I advise you not to try to tap your foot to the tempo we're going to play at, because I cannot be responsible for any sprains or strains that may develop. So, from 1926, a little tune called Bye Bye Blackbird. Here we go. Bye-bye, blackbird. Bye-bye, yeah. Well, we're getting into the fall season. Winter's approaching, so I don't think there'll be too many blackbirds around here. They're all flying somewhere where it's warm. So, well, that's our show for today. Hope you enjoyed our little anything goes here, little impromptu stuff. But, you know, now I said, these are songs that I generally play at just about all my live gigs. So, you know, it was like almost like a paid rehearsal, although I don't get, but never mind that. So this is Coach Dave. You know I'm gonna say, bring those young'uns in. They don't hear these songs, especially some of these like Samba de Orfeo and Blackbird and Tifa 2. Of course, nobody else has heard them much either, but that's, you know, that's a whole other thing. But bring the young'uns in to hear this music. And of course, as usual, big thank you to Austin behind the glass. I drive him crazy for at least 15 minutes before we start taping every week, trying to get the sound, because I can't hear when I'm sitting here what you folks are hearing at home. So well, fortunately he has no hair, so he doesn't have any hair he can pull out. So once again, thank y'all for watching, listening, however you get our show. And let's take it home with, oh, I know. No, wait a minute. Yeah, okay. Let's go home with Anything Goes, because that's how we came in. And never mind. Here we go.